Hi guys, welcome to Vechain Wyckoff Technical Analysis session. We'll look into both weekly and daily time frames and see where Vechain is at the Wyckoff stages, as well as whether there are particular time frame that breakout events for Vechain will happen. Let's dive in. Here, we're looking at the weekly chart. As usual, we look at the bigger picture before we get into the daily. If you're new to this session, these orange tags are the accumulation cycle of Wyckoff, and we're currently at a mid-late stage of the Wyckoff accumulation cycle. Previously, I shared with the community that there's a 20% chance for the price to come back down for a deeper test before it shoots up to the distribution cycle. Because if we look at the history, it's not uncommon that after sign of strength, the price comes down to an even lower level before the actual climb towards a new climax. So it happened both times back in end of 2023, early 2024, plus end of 2024 to the beginning or like end of last year, December last year. Now we are at a similar time frame. Last year, the climb started the first week of November. We are getting very close to that time, and looking at this wedge over here, we've got a cross between these two yellow dashed lines, and when I get to the daily chart, we'll look at what exact date is that, because this only shows us the beginning of the week, the date over here. So we'll get to the daily chart and look at that. So now, given the price continues to trade within these wedge, you see over the past few weeks, the candlestick basically bounces between this upward support trend line and this downward resistance line, also this orange key level. So the price has been suppressed under this orange key level of 2 cents 60 since late July, and it has been trading along here for over 2 months. So this is the macro picture. We're still waiting for the distribution cycle to happen, and we are getting close. So the squeeze, the Bollinger Band counter squeeze, is still going on. So since beginning of June, the squeeze force has been building up, and any time from now when the squeeze force releases, we'll see a big price wing coming. So last time it happened back in October, November last year, there was a squeeze, and eventually we've seen this massive swing, first upwards and then immediately back down after 4 months. So be prepared. Likewise, in 2023, that was what happened. So we are edging towards that similar pattern now. Okay, let's go to the daily and look at the exact date about that. So even in the daily, we are seeing the squeeze continuing, and it's understandable because it's basically getting narrower and narrower, this range over here. Over the past 6 days, as far as I can see, let's switch this Bollinger Band indicator off. So yeah, 6 days in a row, the price has been trading above this yellow, white dash support line. So this line has been extended from these two selling climaxes especially, and also obviously there are a bunch of candlesticks over here that crosses this line. This test over here also being supported by the same line, so it's understandable that this is a pretty strong intermediate support other than these key levels. So the date over here is pointing to somewhere around December 7th or 8th. So when we edge closer to the end of this month or the beginning of December, a breakout will eventually happen. So we talk about these percentages. For supporters of Vechain, obviously I believe you hope it breaks out to the upside. First, breaks through this descending resistance line. Second, through this orange key level, and eventually gets out of this long-term playground from this white box and challenge the 0.035 key level. That's the first step you will want to see, because that's where the buying climax back in mid-May was. So that's the very first step only. Because if we look at the weekly, we don't want the buying climax in the bigger picture ends at the orange key level. That was the automatic rally level in the daily chart. So you see the difference between the weekly and the daily chart now, right? The scale of the Wyckoff pattern is immensely different. So we want the buying climax to at least challenge the blue level of 5 cents 50, the blue key level over here. Best if it's challenged the purple key level of 6 cents 80. Okay, well, if you say you are even more bullish that Vechain should be the favorite of the community, the crypto community, then let's hope for that to happen, that the buying climax reaches a point that's even higher. So we have just 2 points, 2 buying climaxes over here. So it's a wild thought right at the moment. So we've got this first buying climax back in March 2024, and then we've got this second buying climax back in December. So just 9 months roughly apart. So if this trend line is really real, then this coming climax would be very crazy. Okay, assuming it's really coming up somewhere near the end of November, and it takes similar time, let's say, I don't know, 8 weeks? That's somewhere 8 to 10 weeks, let's say, somewhere around February. So the buying climax would be somewhere around there. Or at least the candlestick would try to touch this 12 cents. I know that's a crazy thought. I don't think that would happen, but there's a trend line that we can draw from there. Okay, so let's go back to the realistic picture. First point of challenge, 5 cents 50. Second point of challenge, 60 cent 80. So back to the daily chart. Enough wild thoughts. Hey, rock and roll. Vechain looks ready to blast off soon. Yes, you are right. So that's the wedge we're talking about here. So both the weekly and daily time frame are pointing towards the breakout near the end of November or early December. But of course, as shared many times, this is just an indication of the latest date that it should happen. It doesn't mean it can't break out sooner. So anytime now till then, we will see it happen, because I already shared the Bollinger Band corner squeeze has been shining for quite a while for both weekly and daily time frame. So enough force has been built up for the swing to happen. Is just like we're waiting for the starter gun, like in the Olympic race. The big guys, the whales or the composite man in Wyckoff's terminology, when they sound that gun, that's when the price is going to swing. And well, I don't seem to think it's heading towards this side, though there's still a chance, but finger crossed, let's not see it happen that way. Or if it really happens, like I said, happens similar to what we had back in late 2023 or October last year, similar to the time we are in now. So it's fine for them to do a dip and shake out more people, and then they push the price upwards. So that's what happened both in 2023 and 24. Call it coincidence or not, both happened near the end of October. So I don't know, you can tell me, is there somebody playing magic doing it at the same time in the year? Okay, let's get back to the daily and see whether I've missed out anything. We've talked about the date. We mentioned last session that we're probably already in the backup or last point of support period, because this horizontal platform stage is a typical behavior before a bigger price swing happens. And again, I'm keeping these two percentages more optimistic towards this side, towards the distribution cycle, the first stage, the preliminary supply stage. Still, be cautious about another test coming down to check out people before the actual climbs happen. So that's for Vechain, and like Rock and Roll said, it's very close to a swing, and hopefully it's towards a distribution cycle this time, meaning we'll see another buying climax. Finger crossed. Remember, stop loss is our best friend. No matter which side we are seeing the price would go.